Hello, everybody. Vaishali here again. When I was growing up, I used to love to listen to stories about nature. I used to beg my grandmother to tell me about the rain, about the wind, about the snow. Of course, snow she barely knew much. We didn't travel as much, like how people do nowadays. There was one story which I heard when I was a little child. And since then, I always wondered why we always call nature as mother, the sun as the father, the rain as sister rain, wind as brother wind. Now, when I'm all grown up, I realize that the earth and nature is one big family. And that's why all of them are called mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, aunts. This is a very, very cute story. The story is how the seeds were scattered. Nowadays when we walk by a farm, we see neat gardens of vegetables, fields of grains, all planted in straight lines. Orchards where fruit trees are all in a row. Each plant has its placing, right? But when we go to a tekadi, to a forest or a woodland, the plants grow all together, mixed together, topsy-turvy. You realize the difference, isn't it? But well, it was not like this long, long ago. Long ago, when the Mother Earth was young, Mother Nature's garden was neater, very orderly, and it was the best kept farm. Not just the farms, even the forests were neatly kept. In the forest, trees were planted in neat stands. Oaks grew in great groves. Pines soared towards the sky in straight rows, just pines and pines and pines ahead. Each growing amongst only its own kind, no mixing. The forest clearings were lined with borders of ferns and mosses. And there were different flowers growing in different corners and patches, but they were all huddled up only together. Daisies amongst daisies, roses amongst roses, a sea of white and others of asters rippling in purple waves, but everything all together. Every place on the earth displayed Mother Nature's love and care. Now, all mothers love and care, isn't it? Similarly, Mother Nature took a lot of care of all her trees and plants and flowers and bushes and saplings. For years, the plants thrived and grew. Everything was peaceful. Of course, the story has to have a twist, isn't it? One day, just like you little children are always curious and running about, a restless daisy turned to her neighbor and said, "Oh, how I wish I could move away. I'm tired of all this daisy talk. I turn to you. To the left there's a daisy, to the right there's a daisy. We only talk about each other all day. Don't you wish you could see more of the world?" There was silence for a while, but then a very soft whisper said, "Yes. Much as I like to live amongst my friends and relatives, and I'm not ready to change anything, but I definitely would like to know what lies ahead. What's in the world?" Now, while this chit chat was going on, some other daisies overheard what they said. And soon there was a whisper and a whisper and more talk about seeing the world and making new friends. Mama knows everything, isn't it? Mother Nature overheard this talk. She felt a little sad for a moment. And then she said, "Oh, maybe the children are right. What can be done?" She wondered. Obviously, they cannot move right now. Or they can't move at all. I don't know. All the plants have been given their appointed places in their garden, right? Let me ask Father Sun. Perhaps he can give me a good advice. The next morning, Mother Nature went to Father Sun and told him everything that she had heard. You know how daddies are sometimes, right? She went to Father Sun and said, "What do you think? What can I do?" "Don't do anything. Father-son replied. Leave them alone and they will soon forget their troubles. Well, this trouble was not going to be gone so soon. The daisies couldn't be distracted. The daisies didn't forget. They spoke of nothing else. And soon the whisper started spreading all around, and all the flowers and the bushes in the neighboring fields were also talking about moving away, seeing the world. Mother Nature overheard their talk and thought, I must do something. How about I ask Sister Rain? Perhaps she will give me some good advice. That afternoon, Mother Nature went to Sister Rain and told her what she had heard. Now, Sister Rain remained in thought for a very long time. Finally, she took a deep breath. I'm sorry to hear that the flowers don't seem happy. But what can be done? You can't uproot them. You can't transplant them all. I'm afraid they will simply have to stay where they are and just be there and accept it. Mother Nature couldn't sleep all night. She obviously couldn't see her little babies all restless and worried and talking amongst each other. The next day, as every mother likes to get answers to her questions, Mother Nature roamed over the earth. She heard nothing but eager talk from every plant. I must do something, she thought. I'll ask Brother Wind. Perhaps he will give me some good advice. That evening, Mother Nature went to Brother Wind and told him all that she had heard. Hardly had she finished that Brother Wind said, I know exactly what to do. Mother Nature just heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, somebody had a solution. Listen, tell the flowers that they can't be transplanted now. But if they wait patiently until next year, their wish will be granted. Mother Nature was happy to have the answer, but she was also curious to know what he was going to do. May I ask what you will do? Just wait and see. Wait and see. All through the week, Mother Nature roamed the earth. She promised every single flower, every single bush, the little shrubs, the tall towering trees, the wonderful fruit trees in the orchards, that if they waited patiently until next year, their wishes would be granted. They were so thrilled. They thanked her gracefully. And now the fields were filled of joyful talk of what the new year would bring. Meanwhile, Brother Wind was busy. He summoned his helpers and told them what to do. Do you know what they did? Oh, they worked really hard. All summer long, the wind fairies watched the flowers carefully. They didn't get their eyes off them. And when they dropped their seeds, the wind fairies caught the seeds in their fingers and flew over the fields, scattering the seeds here and there. Through the summer and early autumn, the wind fairies did their work. Then came winter. Everything became quiet. A mist covered the earth and there was fog everywhere. In some parts of the world, the earth was also covered with a blanket of snow. Everyone slept cozily. Some animals hibernated. The dewdrops on the leaves. People waking up late. Cozy blankets. Winter was beautiful. Finally, spring returned. Father Sun rose up in the sky and warmed the earth once again with his bright, warm rays. The seeds began to sprout. The green shoots poked their heads above the earth. They look like little children who come out of tiny blankets. The plants grew leaves and then buds. As spring turned into summer, the buds opened. Wow! Wow! Cried the white daisies when they found themselves scattered among the goldenrod and the blue chicory. Yay! Cried the red poppies when they found themselves amongst blue asters and roses. Oh, wow! All the flowers cried in happiness as they looked around at the new sights and the new neighbors and the new friends they were going to make. Mother Nature heard these squeals and cries and laughter, and she looked down at the earth. Gone were the neat patches of white, gold, blue. Gone were the ordered borders of pink and purple. Gone were the winding rows of white and yellow flowers. Those tall rows of trees. Instead, the fields and meadows, the highways and byways were splashes of color. Mother Nature's heart swelled with joy. Honestly, she had never seen anything so beautiful. Next year I will do more, she promised. Each year, I will do more. But that, children, is another story. When I heard this story and I try to remember this every single time, I believe that nature and sun and earth and the wind and the rain are all here taking care of us like we are one big family. Enjoy today. Enjoy the lovely sun. Look out of your balconies. I know we can't step out. Smile at each other. Thank the sun. Thank the earth. Thank the moon, the stars, the rain, and the wind. For we are here because they are here.